what's up, y'all, and welcome to another edition of On the Needle. I know today is not Friday, but I had to jump in at least before the weekend was over because it's been a minute since I did my last review. Tony Braxton's Libra album was the last one that I did. So, of course, I have a lot more vinyls that I have not covered. There will be a new series that I'm starting on the channel, which gets away from the vinyls and the music a little bit, but you'll hear more about that soon. More about me personally, basically, is what it is. But I still will be doing the music reviews. I've been doing a lot of the shorts, the It's Given series. So if you check out my shorts, those are 1-minute clips of reviews of new music and how I feel about it. And through that, I've gained a lot of new people, a lot of new followers to the channel. So thank you for joining the Peauxetic family, all of the new followers. This may be your first time watching one of the vinyl reviews, but welcome. If you've been here before, welcome to you as well. So let's kick it off. We're talking about Stevie Wonder. You know, I had to come with a classic after being gone for a minute. Original Musiquarium. Now this is probably, outside of the songs in the key of life, this may be my favorite Stevie Wonder album. So 1982 is when it was released. I love Fish too, by the way. Fish tanks, water, all that kind of stuff. I love it. So let's get into this artwork here, which is so dope. I love this. So it's kind of like the albums. This is the compilation album, by the way. So the albums that this compilation consists of are all here. So those albums include Music of My Mind, Talking Book, Inversions, Fulfilling This First Finale, Songs in the Key of Life, of course, that's probably the most recognizable one, I would say, for most people. Journey Through the Secret Life of Plants, and Hotter Than July. That one was fire too. No pun intended. But this album was released in 1982, so actually 3 years before I was born. And it included 4 new songs at the time that hadn't been released before, that went on to be big hits, which included That Girl and Do I Do. Those were unreleased songs at the time, 2 of my favorites by Stevie Wonder. And again, I think it's always cool when you put out a greatest hits and you have new songs and then those new songs also become hits. I think we're kind of out of that era now. Everybody's so single driven and people aren't really invested, in my opinion, in bodies of work anymore. So when we look inside of the vinyl, nothing really special here as far as the packaging, vinyl packaging itself. Just black standard vinyl. And there's 2 of them that are here. And let's go ahead and get into this track listing. We know that Stevie Wonder is a musical genius. He's a mastermind. In my opinion, when you talk about the really great artists that you would put in that category of like the Aretha Franklins, the Michael Jacksons, Prince, Stevie Wonder is one of the last people in that group that's still here with us, I believe. And I feel like he does get recognition, but he really doesn't get the flowers he deserves. So I hope that before he leaves this earth, that he really gets everything that he deserves, because he's been an influence to so many artists and his music is just, it's timeless. You know, I feel that's just my opinion. But the track listing. So on side 1, we have Superstition, You Haven't Done Nothing, Living for the City, Frontline. You know, those are his more, I feel like that side A is kind of like in his conscious music bag. You know, if we were to fast forward to today where you have the blending of R&B and hip hop, you know, I feel like Common probably would have been featured on some of these tracks because it's very conscious music. You know, even somebody like a Mos Def, I could see in current day where he could have collaborated with. Another thing that's interesting though is in that time, before we had this meshing and blending of artist collaboration, each artist stood by themselves well. In today's time, I feel like you'd have some artists that are like that. You know, like let's take a Mariah Carey, for instance, who I think is really almost single-handedly responsible for being the person who made the marriage of made the marriage of R&B and hip hop pop. So she made it popular music, but she stands alone on her own. Stevie Wonder stands alone on his own. He doesn't need any collaborators. He doesn't need any, special producers to make his music pop, because he's producing and writing, arranging this stuff himself. So that was side A. I'll zoom in a little bit so y'all can see this track listing. Probably can't read it all, but that's the track listing there. So then we move on to side 2. Superwoman, Where Were You When I Needed You? Send One Your Love, You Are the Sunshine of My Life. Let's take a moment. That is probably one of the top 5 songs of his catalog, in my opinion. Oh, excuse me, y'all. Sorry, these videos are raw, so I really don't edit them, so I'll just leave it in so y'all can see the raw details. Y'all can't see my dog, but he just jumped on me, so I'm guessing maybe he likes You Are the Sunshine of My Life too. Is that what you're saying, Danny? You like that song too? Boom. He's also a fan. All right. Ribbon in the Sky. Another classic song that a lot of people have remade. Then we go to side 3, Higher Ground, Sir Duke. Amazing. Master Blaster Jammin', Boogie On, Reggae Woman. Another one of my favorites. I feel like that one's kind of missed a little bit when people talk about some of his most iconic or influential songs, but I would say that one's up there too. That Girl, as I mentioned, I Wish, awesome. Isn't She Lovely? Isn't she lovely to this day? I go on TikTok and I see people who post videos of them having babies or celebrating their children, and people are still using that song to this day. So that's how you know something is a classic, when generations who may not even know what this song is, it just popped up as a suggestion for them to add to the video. Classic. You can't fight that. It's just classic. And then it rounds out with Do I Do. So love this album. I'm considering, I had some vinyls hanging up in my previous apartment, and so I'm thinking of putting some of these up, maybe some different ones. This one might be a contender, honestly, because like I said, I love Fish, I love Water. Stevie Wonder's a classic. Anybody that walks in here would not refute that Stevie Wonder, anything from Stevie Wonder, is unworthy of being on the wall. I don't, anybody that does, I just feel like you just don't have good taste in music. But let me know what y'all think in the comments about Stevie Wonder. If you've heard this album, Original Musiquarium, for those vinyl collectors, if you have it, let me know. And let me know what some of your favorite songs are from it, and then some songs that maybe aren't even on this album that are some of your favorites. So for instance, I think the song is called Brown Eyes or Brown Eyed Girl. I may be butchering that title, but it's on Songs in the Key of Life. So if you've heard that album, you know which one I'm talking about. That is also one of my favorite Stevie Wonder songs that I don't even believe was a single, but I love that song nonetheless. So Stevie Wonder, Original Musiquarium. Thank you all for the subscriptions, the love, the comments, the interactions on the videos, and please continue to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.